Hello and welcome to another episode of the Socially Numb Podcast. I am your host, Richie Leahey. Today we are practicing again, or giving it a trial run, on mobile recording. I am, just like last year, going to attend the Carolina Rebellion Festival, which is a concert for mainly heavy metal and hard rock bands that occurs in Charlotte, North Carolina, every year, it seems, for the past couple of years. Now, this concert takes place over a 3-day weekend, so it's on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You have the concert. Each day is kind of focused on a different style of music, and so what I wanted to do was, we're in my truck once again, riding around. I wanted to try to get a little bit more intimate feel by trying to record on the go with an actual microphone. But what it looks like happened is the iPhone doesn't recognize or use the microphone that I have plugged in right now. So I apologize once again if you get a lot of outside noise. I'll try to clean it up the best I can. But again, I want to practice the mobile recording. I know we talked about it before to try to get to some events. This is the big event, and I think what I'm going to do is use this week as a special event type of deal, where I am going to bring in additional concert recordings. So the Carolina Rebellion Festival, the first time I attended, it was with a group of friends of mine. We met in college, and we go to a concert every year. So it's a big group of friends of mine that we meet up. Now, as we get older, it seems a lot of us kind of had dropped off, started families or whatever, but I make a point to attend this concert. Doesn't matter what the holiday is. Usually it's over like a Mother's Day weekend, so that holiday doesn't really matter for the people in the group, so we'll go regardless of what holiday is happening that weekend. Now, we've gone through a couple different ones. So the first concert that we all attended together, the first festival, there is a county fair. First, before I get into that one, there is a county fair that we've traveled to see. One of our friends, he worked the county fair, and he was able to get backstage, get us pretty good seats, and we would go see a couple big name bands. And as you know, a lot of the 70s and 80s bands over the years have dropped off in their concert attendance, so they have been moving to these county fairs. It's a good payday for them because they still get a good bit of attendance. They're just not able to pull in for their own show. So it's better for them to share the stage with a couple other groups. And I think that's how the festivals have really started to take off, or why they have really started to take off. Because here you go, you have a bunch of bands from the 80s. Live music is still great. Some of them from the 90s if you're going into Carolina Rebellion. But live music is still one of those types of media where you have to be there to really get a feel for it. Sure, you can watch live music, live concerts on YouTube or streaming through a website, but it's not the same as actually being there and doing some of the things, crowd surfing, going into a mosh pit, just genuinely talking to people, maybe meeting some members of the band. And so that's kind of what I'm going to focus on here the next couple of weeks. I might have talked about this before, but when the podcast was about to start, it was with that group of friends from college that we had the idea to start a podcast and really get into it. And with that, we were going to kind of do like different things we went to and kind of use that. Now, as people dropped off and they weren't able to get time or whatever, I decided to go at it solo and bring the podcast to you. I had a lot of pre-recorded audio files and bits and stuff that we did, which I haven't used yet. Because I'm still trying to get a feel for it and keep in the groove of recording once a week. Now, what we did was we started by testing at the live shows. So I do have, and I know some people hate live podcasts, so if you hate them, sorry about that, but I do like to mix it up. I think this is one medium where you can do that. You don't have to follow a set formula. So just because it's a podcast and we're sitting down, I'm kind of riffing each week. I don't think I've had any guests on this show. I've had them on the Southbound Sports Show. And so that would be another option or venue. I know some people, they hate having guests. They'd rather just have me riff and complain like some type of angry rant. And so you're not going to please everyone, and I would like to get that. And I did think maybe I could release these as bonus episodes. But for now, just to get a feel for them, because it is kind of older content, I am just going to go ahead and roll them out. So I'm going to throw them out there. If you enjoy them, let me know, because I would like to do more of these in the future, so I don't want to stash them as some type of bonus episode where nobody gets to hear them, and then we don't know for sure if people are going to listen or if there's going to be a drop-off. So I'll use this tool as a measurement tool to kind of see if we're going to do more live shows in the future or not. I hope so, because I do enjoy it, and I think it is a mix-up, especially for me, because I'm not in the studio all the time. And sometimes if I travel, then you won't get thrown together some type of bonus content. The other option would be if I go away for a weekend in the future, the best time or best way for me to get an episode to you would be to do like a clip show or a highlight show of some just previous material to use, kind of like as a reel, to get promotional reel, where you put it together and you throw it out there to TV networks or whoever. If you think of like it in the television sense, you throw together a reel or a promotional video to try to get some type of record deal in place. I'm not really going for that here anyway, so I'm just going to kind of try different things out. And again, if you hear the sound, it is raining outside as I do this. So in 2 weeks, I hope, actually I think it is 2 weeks, by the time this launches, the Carolina Rebellion is the first week of May this year. And so this will launch. I hope we get good weather. I would hate to be stuck out in the rain. I know there are some other shows and different things to do there. I think they have a covered top, some type of outer venue that you could go ahead and hang out at. But for this type of show, you really need to be walking back and forth between stages. So I really hope that that doesn't happen. Now, besides the county fair, I did say I was going to talk about it. The next show, or next type of show that we went to, the actual first festival show that we went to, was called M3. Now, I actually started to go to this one alone. We still kept our meetup groups, and we did different things. Sometimes we'd watch like UFC fights or whatever, but never would meet up. But other times, like I know we went out for like one of the Super Bowls to meet up with our crew. To watch, but now we decided to kind of shift, meet up at least once a year, keep in touch with everyone, and go to one big festival. It started with the M3 Festival. Now, this might have been 5 years ago or so, because where we had gone to smaller concerts, so sometimes we would go and see heavy metal bands. The first one we went to see was 3 Inches of Blood. I was a little bit older, so I graduated earlier. So like I was already graduated when this first started, and it wasn't quite a county fair in sense, I guess. We went to see 3 Inches of Blood. I think they played with maybe In Flames. I can't remember. Or maybe In Flames was a separate concert. Then we would go up. One year we went to see Dream Theater, King Diamond. But after a while, we went to see Testament too in there. After a while, you notice that a lot of these bands are playing at festivals, and sometimes it's just easier than to meet up and go to like some smaller town to go see. One of the ones we went to was Days of the New, which was Travis Meeks. It was like a 90s alternative grunge band or rock band. They were mainly acoustic, and their singer had kind of quit and broke up the band, or he got kicked out of the band, and there was like a whole big drama, but they finally went tour together. So like when we met up to go to that one, we had to drive all the way to a small little area in New York. We stayed at a crummy hotel that had mirrors on the wall, I guess to watch yourself have sex. But then they had a pretty good show, and we got to meet them after. So it was worth it, but after a while, it's tough to get everyone in to like going to see just one band. Festival is even better. We get more people to show up when we do a festival. So I went to see M3 Festival the first year by myself, or maybe the first 2 years. I went with someone else the first year, I think. And I went by myself the second time because the first year, I want to say, when I went with someone else, and we went to see the Scorpions because they're a classic 70s band. It was supposed to be their farewell tour, which I have learned, because I think Scorpions are playing, or at least they played at Carolina Rebellion last year. It's one of them where I'm going to get to see them again. They might be here this year. But we went to see them because they're a classic rock band, and I thought, their farewell tour, this will be a good thing to come check out this festival. So I went with a friend, and then we kind of went back. I was going to visit my family, so then I went like right after. It was kind of on the way. It kind of was out of the way, but I wanted to meet up. And so that was a great show. I think it was a one-day festival at that point. And so I went, and I had a great time. Scorpions were great. And I realized that like I was exhausted after that day. Like it takes a lot out of you. And we had gone to one other one before, two other ones now that I think about it. We did go to Ozfest, which actually our one friend had to leave because he had to go to the hospital for a family member, a friend's family member. And it was so hot that day that I was almost dehydrated. I drank a whole thing of rum, I think, in the parking lot, and it really dehydrated me, which I advise not to. Like, if you're going to be drinking and it's going to be 100 degrees at the festival, your body's not going to be able to sustain it. They have, like, a little water tent, but other than that, like, drinks inside are, like, $5 for, like, a Gatorade, which I then needed to hydrate myself, so I wasn't even having fun. So I recommend that if it's going to be hot, make sure you know the weather. Last year at Carolina Rebellion, I got sunburned so bad that like my eyes swelled up. Not good, not fun. I had to like watch the last day of the show in sunglasses and a long sleeve shirt to cover myself up so I didn't get burnt anymore. But anyway, we had the Ozfest one, and then we went to see Gigantor, which was a Megadeth production, kind of similar to Ozfest, where Megadeth would bring in a little bit more heavier bands, like more metal bands, like heavier, compared to Ozfest, which would always have like some rock bands or just some like classical rock bands on the bill. Gigantor was supposed to be a smaller one. We went to that, and I'll probably save that. Yeah, let's save that story. No, actually, let's go ahead with it. Let's say screw it, because I'm going to have, I don't know how long. So as I do these, I'm not sure how long they're going to be. And I'm just going to be front with you up front. A lot of the audio is going to be spliced together. So I'm not sure what type of content we got from M3 before. But M3 was the first start of it. It wasn't Gigantor. Now, Gigantor was in the same venue as M3 before I attended M3. I went to see Megadeth. I've never seen them before. I love Megadeth. And they had just started touring. I think this is way back. It was either when United Abominations came out or sometime after that. So you can see we've been going to concerts for years. But we get to the show, and we're sitting there. We're sitting in the field. And it was before, like, it wasn't like an all-day festival. So I think it started like at 4 or 5 p.m. So here you go. You have an outside festival we're sitting at. And our buddy, I think we were getting drinks or something. And our buddy's like, hey, they're giving out passes down here to be down in the pit. And I was like, no, they're not. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. And we had already gotten into the seats because we had lawn tickets, because I figured at a concert, a lot of the actual stuff, if you're not paying to get down in the pit, there's no use to sit in the seats at a metal concert. You're better off just sitting in the grass, because then people are going to still mosh pit up there. You're going to have more freedom. You can kind of lay down, do whatever. You can see the band, and if you're right in the middle, you actually get a better sense of the audio, because there's an extra speaker set that's actually right there. So they actually, I think they pine, or at least test for sound, right at the back of the seats and for the lawn right there in the front and center. So if you can get to that seat, you're going to have a great sound. So you're going to be able to hear the concert really good. So we went there, and we had lawn seats, and when we got there, the lady's like, hey, they're filming a video or something similar to that line. I can't remember at this point, but they were filming a video and they wanted more people in the seats for the first band. They're like, you can sit here, and if people come, they might usher you out. They're going to kick you out eventually. So you're not going to be able to hang out there the whole time. You're going to get kicked out. So we're like, okay, well, that's still a good deal. We never know if we're going to get kicked out. We didn't know if the show was sold out. Sometimes shows don't sell out, and then you'll never get kicked out. You just move over to another seat. So we're sitting there, and like I said, my buddy went down, and he's like, hey, down here they're giving out pit wristbands. And we're like, no way. You're just trying to get us out of these seats. We're going to go down, and we're going to end up back on the grass when we can at least sit here in the shade and chill for these first couple bands that we don't even know who they are. Well, he's like, well, I'm going to go get one then. I'm like, all right, go ahead. See what happens. So he goes down, and he puts one on, and he, like, raises his fist and, like, yells, I told you guys. Because at this point, there were really no one there yet. So I took off running. We jumped over our seats to run down so that we would all get wristbands. So then we're down there in the pit. In the pit, again, a pretty fun time. Most of the time, it's not, like, it's hard to explain, but you're just kind of like pushing each other back and forth. And it's like kind of like a release if you're at the show. I recommend you at least test it out. After this show, I started to bring a mouthpiece just because I didn't want to lose any teeth. And you'll hear that here in a little bit. So we are down in the pit, and at first it's empty for the first couple bands. I don't remember who was all playing. Children of Bodom, maybe. Some bands like that. So it started to fill up the closer we got to Megadeth, which makes sense. And I think it was Children of Bodom. By the time Children of Bodom was about to end, I think In Flames were coming on, and then I think it was Megadeth. But the timeline's important because at the Children of Bodom show at the end and at the beginning of In Flames, it became so packed down there because they were probably giving these wristbands out and they had already sold all the pit tickets that you couldn't really move. So the mosh pit started to get bigger and bigger. And so we were in the mosh pit to get some breathing room because if you were outside of the mosh pit, you couldn't really stand. It wasn't comfortable. There was no space. So here's the mosh pit's hitting. We're pushing. And next thing I know, I'm getting smashed. It fills up. The mosh pits, people are running full speed. I got a tooth knocked out. I got hit in the side. And I thought, you know what? Screw this. So we just started going at it hard, pushing people down, trying to clear out more space. And next thing I know, I turn around, and there's one of my buddies. He's looking at me, and it's me, him, and this other huge guy. And we're not small by any means. We're both like over 6'2", 200 pounds or so. And there's a guy. He's jacked. He probably has to be at least 6'5", I believe, yelling in the pit. He's like, yeah, we got them all. Yeah. And I was like, holy crap, this guy just knocked down like every other guy with us. People probably think we're crazy. Everyone in the pit had been pushing away, giving us scared looks. And at that point, we pretty much ended the mosh pit because I have a feeling that this guy saw what we were doing and was doing the same thing, just trying to clear the pit out. So we must have just been throwing people into the crowd. Throwing them into the crowd, crazy like. Well, after that point, no one else really started back up the mosh pit, so we started to lose our space. Everyone started to like kind of push back in and call us assholes or whatever. And so I turned to my friends. I said, all right, well, In Flames is playing. We've seen them before. We like them. Like, why don't we just try to like get up closer to the stage for Megadeth? Well, little did we know that a lot of the people up front, they were trying to space out too because of the mosh pit. So it opened up pretty quick, a lot quicker than I thought was going to happen. So everyone moved out of the way, and we were able just to slice right up through to get to the front of the stage. So we're close enough where now the guitarist gives me a pick for In Flames, and Megadeth starts to come on. So we're about 5 rows back because and a lot of people in front of us are like small little people. And so when they go and get drinks for Megadeth, and at this point I really had to piss, but I was like, if I leave now, we're never getting back down here. So I can just hold it for 2 more hours. Like, what's the worst that can happen? So I get up there as people start to move. I get really close enough. At this point, we get up, and we're on the right side of the stage. Well, facing the stage left, I guess, or whatever. But we're on the right side of this fence. So we're right in front of one of the guitarists, Chris Broderick, who had just joined the band, if that helps clean up the timeline. So maybe it was right after United Abominations. I don't remember who played guitar on that album. or it might have been right before Endgame. I don't think it was in Endgame, because I don't think a lot of people knew who he was. So me and my group of friends were there, were like, oh shit, that's Chris Broderick. No one probably knows who this guy is. So he comes out, we start yelling his name, and he's like kind of taken by shock. He's like, because we're not yelling Megadeth, and the whole crowd, everyone's like quiet. He's like out there on stage like doing his little thing. So he comes over, he points, like high fives us, whatever. So we're able to get like right up on the fence. He's like standing there, like head nodding towards us as the show starts. And that was cool for us. But next thing you know, the mosh pit in the back starts out, and it turns into like a circle pit. And a circle pit, everyone runs in a circle, which means that it kind of like, if you think of a hurricane or a tornado winds, probably a hurricane if you think of it on like a teleprompter for the Weather Channel, you can see how even though the eye of the storm is where everyone's going, the outer rim is still pulling people around. So it's pulling people inside the storm itself. So it's turning us. So now we're moving down on this fence, which is tearing up my ribs at this point. I'm already beaten from the pit because I wasn't expecting to like get into like, basically it's like playing a game of football. You're hurting after. And the motion from the pit, the circle pit, is pushing us closer and closer. And we end up right in front of Dave Mustaine. And I almost forgot to mention this, but one of our friends, actually it was down to two of us at this point, because as we were kind of pushing our way up to see Chris Broderick, another guy flipped out and started to choke our friend, saying like, we've been here the whole time, you guys can't just sneak in front of us, whatever, which we weren't really sneaking, we were just walking right up. Well, he starts choking our friend. So the guy that was in the pit with me, he turns around and just starts punching this guy in the face, because like to get him off, our friend's like, he's like choked out. So I'm like, well, we can't pass out down here, like this guy's gonna knock him out. So he's punching him in the head. I can't reach him. I'm like 3 or 4 people away, and when you're down there, like I said, you could barely move to begin with. So we weren't moving to get this guy off our friend. Well, enough hits to the face, and that guy let go, and our friend was like, I'm out of here. The one that got choked, he's like, I'm out of here. I can't be up here. The pit was already pushing me out, and he didn't participate in the pit. So he went up, he's like, I'm going to sit in the grass. So there was only 2 of us left by the time we got up here. So I was up against the fence, and he was behind me trying to like keep people off me and like stand up beside me then. By the time we pushed up in front of Dave, I'm pretty sure he was standing beside me. And this is in Maryland. And we're not even from Pittsburgh. We're like from a pretty good distance away from it, where we grew up, or where I grew up, and then he's even further out, closer to State College in Pennsylvania, if you know where I'm talking about. Well, Dave Mustaine, because we're right in front, he like takes a break in one of the songs, and we're right in Baltimore, where if you're familiar with the football, NFL has a pretty big rivalry between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. So Dave asked me, where'd you guys travel from? I yell out Pittsburgh. Immediately everyone starts booing, pushing us again. Pretty cool stuff though, because the rest of the show then we're like right in front of him. And like I said, he getting into some banner. You can tell he's looking right at us, 2 bigger dudes, because everyone else is like small up at that point. And everyone else is kind of like pushing around. So after the show, they gave me a set list. I actually don't even know. I think I lost it over time moving from place to place. I thought I had a picture of it, or at least scanned it so that I had proof of this story, but I don't know if I have it on. If anything, it would be on my Flickr account, because that has all my photos. I did lose a hard drive, so that's probably what happened. It probably got destroyed. I probably scanned it as soon as I got it, and then it probably got destroyed, because I don't know if I have it. I still have the pics, I think. I actually don't even know if I have the Megadeth one. I have a bunch of pics, so I do have the pics from the show, because I know I have one from 3 Inches of Blood from a different show, and I think I have the In Flames one, and I think I have a Megadeth one from that show too. I could be wrong. But anyway, that show really kind of put us to the edge, where we're like, hey, well, these festivals, after the Ozfest debacle, we kind of went back into, that was the year Judas Priest was on, or no, it wasn't. So Judas Priest was on the show with Black Sabbath and Ronnie James Dio as a singer for Black Sabbath, which we all loved, Ronnie. And was it Testament? It might have been Testament again. We ended up seeing them a couple times after the initial concert. But anyway, that was another one we went to which was kind of like an inside in. It was better than Ozfest because of the Ozfest, the heat, and the rules they had there. So a smaller concert, and then here's Gigantor, which is a little bit bigger of a festival. And so by this time, we're seeing a couple of these for our yearly concert, and I'm like, well, M3 is better because it's like a 12 to whatever, and you don't really care about the noon bands because they're like local bands or whatever. Like at least we don't know them, and maybe if we were from the area, we might know who they are. And then the bigger bands start at night, so now you're not pressed. It's not going to be like Gigantor. Plus, I said you never know too. We might get free pit tickets, like because that was at the same venue. So Gigantor is at a venue in Baltimore, Maryland, like I said, or Columbia, Maryland, somewhere around there on the outskirts, that same area. And so we go in, and I go see the Scorpions there. Different friends, so it wasn't the same group. And I tell them, like, hey, that was a pretty awesome show. I enjoyed it. The next year, I said, why don't you guys come? Because it was Twisted Sister and Wasp, or I might have missed a year. And then Twisted Sister and Wasp came, two heavy metal bands, and by that time the M3 festival has jumped from 1 to 2 days. I think what happened was I might not have went to M3 because I think Iron Maiden played that year in Charlotte, and I was living in North Carolina again at the time, a little further down, and so I had to see Iron Maiden. So I went to that instead of that. We went to that concert with Alice Cooper instead. And so this time I said, well, guys, let's go. And at this point, people had started to graduate, and then I had trouble reeling people back in to go to these shows. Well, I said, well, I'm going to go to Wasp and Twisted Sister. Had such a great time. So the next year, they were like, oh, well, if you're having a great time going to these festivals, we should go. So got the group back together, and we went, and I think like Europe might have been headlining. I know we met them. So we go back, and this is going to be part of like the explanation. I'm probably going to have to go over and explain some of this, but I'm probably going to go ahead and end this little bit. We went to M3 Festival, and this was supposed to be the start of the podcast. I thought, well, you know what? We can always Skype. We can tell stories. I have some stories, like the Megadeth one, losing a tooth in the mosh pit, getting right up front. It's a pretty interesting story, how we got down in the pit. So you never know. You got to pay attention at the concerts, how to get backstage. So without any more audio bungalow from today where we have like the quality's probably not as good, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to put some of the clips. I'm not sure how long this one's going to be, so for the next couple weeks, so like, all right, so I'm like rambling here now at the end because I don't want to tell any more stories because I want to save some. So we go to M3, and actually I'll end with one other one from another concert we went to. So we went to we saw Travis Meeks. We went to see him one other time. Actually, I'll probably tell two more. It depends. We went to see Travis Meeks the first time because our friend was a great big fan of his. We go to this concert. He doesn't show up at first. So we're there, and we go, and it was like one of those ones outside. And before I start this, the M3 Festival, I'm going to throw some extra clips on this one to make it the normal length of the show. We're about 30 minutes right now in, almost 30 minutes. I'll probably cut some of the garbage out, so this will probably be a little bit shorter than that. But I'm going to fill the back end of this episode with some clips of our first podcast. So it's not really a clip show, but I want those to be out there. And what we'll do next week is probably be something similar. I'll tell some more concert stories. I don't know if I'm going to do it mobily. On the go. I probably will just to test it. I want to try to really get a microphone to work with my phone. I don't really know. I'm going to have to research it. But anyway, Travis Meeks, we get there to the show, and he's not coming out. I'm standing there. Our friend, he's like, this is going to piss me off. Like, this is not good. He's not here. Well, he finally comes out. He plays about 3 songs or so. Then he just like starts yelling, throws a guitar, and he just walks off the stage, and he never comes out. And then one of the other guys in the band's like, Travis is done. Travis is done. He's not coming back out. And so, like, when we go to some of these shows, like, that's the kind of disappointment that I'm used to seeing. And I'll probably tell that a little bit more, expand on it. But without further ado, we'll end with that. Go to some M3 stories, fill out some other concert stories. I might expand some more on what I've told you. But here you go. And enjoy.
No! down at the M3 Festival, the weekend following the riots in Baltimore. Now, the festival was in a suburb right outside Baltimore in Columbia. We told Agave, because he was afraid to come, we told him that it was going to be in downtown DC. So he agreed to come, and as Bisquick was driving him in, kept getting closer and closer to Baltimore, and now he is tweaking out. He's not having fun because he thinks we're close to the Baltimore race rides, which we are still a good distance away. It's Ghost, still at the M3 Festival. I'm outside drinking alone because fucking Agave and Bisquick had to get in the car to get warm. It's a little too cold for them out here. Just witnessed a domestic abuse. Some guy punched a lady. That might be them right there. So Agave and I were tossing the old pigskin around. I didn't know what was really going down. A guy punched a woman. Then his buddy came up and got in his face and they were yelling, exchanging a few words. He said, "Oh, I can prevent you from getting fucking arrested." And the guy was like, toe to toe. "Hey, Bisquick, we can't hear you because you're in your car getting warm." Go ahead, Bisquick. Why aren't you outside?
It's cold outside. The temperature's dropped, and we've been drinking beer all day, which is beer's cold, so my internal temperature has dropped.
What is Ghost wearing?
Ghost is wearing shorts and some type of gay pride sweatshirt.
Does he look comfortable?
He does look comfortable, but he does look like he's like trying out for Hollister.
Well, don't worry about that. I'm wearing a plain blue sweatshirt, which I will gladly post on the website.
Please, Ghost, can you tell us what is that emblem on the little, I guess it'd be your left pocket?
I believe it is Izod.
Oh, so he's wearing a blue Izod sweatshirt at a hair metal concert.
Okay, I don't dress the part. I am not a follower. I march to my own beat. Meanwhile, you guys will all see the outfit that Agave is wearing. He has a blue wife beater on with red trim and white stars. Pretty embarrassing. You should see him cuddling up next to his Harley. It's Ghost, hanging out with the guys here at M3 Festival. I brought them a little present, some barbecue sauce. Just leave the bones.
Well, thank you there, Ghost. Just leave the bones barbecue sauce.
Hey, yo, seriously. I want to say thank you, and can't wait to try it on something. I'm gonna put it on just get barbecue ham, be old fashioned, try it on that, see how it tastes.
I found this at a farmer's market. Not sure where it is from, but I figure it looked decent, and I know, like, with the heavy metal concert that we have going, I figured to just leave the bones is a great slogan for this one.
Thank you. Seriously. I think that's shitty, dude.
What's shitty?
Oh, I get it. I get that's how they make their money. It's like vendors. It's how they make their money, man. I think it's really shitty, though.
You mean the price is not the actual game itself?
Jesus Christ, fucking $8 for a fucking hot dog? Are you fucking out of your goddamn mind? Fuck, man. $8 for a fucking draft? Dude, they fucking.
First off, we took Agave to his first. He's not really cultured. We took him out today.
He looks cultured, but he's not.
Yeah, that's
and
all
what I mean by that is skin.
You gotta look it.
He was impressed that the subway lady spoke Spanish.
I was.
We'll put it that way. He didn't know.
Speaking Spanish to other people, and I was like, then she just turned it on to me, and she started speaking American.
She gave me and Bisquick a discount because we're handsome.
She's probably saying about, why is this guy allowed in the store wearing a white beater that with stains on it?
It's a wife beater, not a white beater. Yeah, but whatever.
Look at that. He's already got we called this Agave has spilled his wine juice onto his white beater, making him look even more.
The more he spills, the less he drinks. Like that.
Agave doesn't care anymore.
Whoa, tell us a little bit about this. Why don't you care?
You know, everybody, I guess, has this assumption, or, stuff like, I think Bisquick has this, assumption about me, or whatever I look like, or whatever. I don't know.
What is your
assumption? Explain yourself.
You gotta tell
You're
us
just
what
letting yourself go, is what you're telling us.
Basically, that is what I'm going to say. I am letting myself
He's becoming
go.
the growth
It's done.
crew.
So you're like, fuck it. I am letting myself go. I am going to look like
You feel mine, dude. I don't really have much left to cheer.
Fat version of Mario.
I seriously can't. Oh, what's that called? That event?
And that girl that broke her foot and won us a championship
Oh, I know.
back in like,
I don't remember her name though.
what was that, 90s?
I'm trying to remember.
You guys seriously don't know?
Wait, give me a second, because I know you know. I know the old guy that carried her off the fucking knee.
You know the
guy. Oh my
what is his name?
Please
No,
don't.
I'm trying to remember. I remember the old guy. I'm trying to remember her name. Oh,
So wait, what's
Wait,
the
you don't
old
know her
guy's
name or you
name?
do? Because I know it.
no, I'm trying to remember the girl's name.
So what's the old guy's name?
I
You
don't
do
know.
remember that.
No, I
Because that's
remember
what
the
you
old
said you
guy.
remember.
I said I don't remember his name.
This just tells you how little Agave can drink.
That's what you
That's true.
remember.
Well-
For the pride of our country. You remember an old guy carrying her off.
Is her name? Don't say it.
Carrying her off.
What is it? No, it's. Go ahead. I can't. I'm not gonna remember.
Carrie Strug, dude. I tried to give you the
Fuck.
hint with the carrying.
I know. That's why I was like, fuck.
Damn. You can tell you do not have American pride. I didn't cheer.
We were still tailgating. We came here before. They had the same bands kind of open
Got
up.
another couple hours of drinking.
Yeah, it's
so I gotta
about
put
low
away.
46.
I got 2 hours of fucking
I
chug.
yawned there a little bit because of Agave last night. Jeez Louise, I'll tell you, this guy had to jump up out of bed, run through the fucking halls of the hotel
Didn't
looking
run.
for a
Didn't
what?
run.
A
No,
Shasta? Was that what you're looking for?
A Fanta.
A Fanta.
Wait, did you say Josta? Because I
No.
love Josta.
No, I was talking about a Shasta.
You hear that? Yeah, that's Agave's wine. He hasn't drank it. I drank mine 2 hours ago.
It's Ghost. We're doing the podcast at the M3 Festival. My voice is gone. Shit, man. We have Agave pretending to be Aziz Ansari.
We ran with an idea, and it kind of didn't work out to our benefit.
People will be buying us drinks, and I'm just like, yo, I'm with Aziz. Why don't you just shut the fuck up?
I'll tell you what.
I mean, like, you.
I met some kind of weird band named Europe, or dude, people were getting mad. They're like, "Do you know who the fuck you just fucking met?" I was like, "I don't fucking know. Some guys from Europe." They're like, "Do you know who the fuck?"
Ghost jumps
I was
in.
like, "I don't care, dude.
Ghost jumps in.
Sorry."
He's like, I'm like fucking throwing gang signs. They're like, sir, you can't be throwing gang signs right now.
That's not what he said.
They told me, they're like, get the fuck out of here. You give me throwing gang signs at Europe right now.
Hey, I'm sorry that you were offended by me offering myself.
For yourself, come on, bro.
Come on, feel the noise.
I'm sorry, baby. You hurt yourself. Take care of yourself, ladies. You guys have a great night. All right, dudes. We are at the M3 Festival.
That's correct. That's correct.
Decent day out. Didn't rain like last year.
It's very nice, actually. Alex.
Still early. It's still early. Someone could get run over. Someone could get run over.
What we should do is kind of
Yeah,
put it up.
pop it up. Yeah, here, do it like that.
I'm gonna go get run over.
Yeah, don't fall asleep up there.
You sick motherfucker. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, dude. You can talk. We also have another guest here who got lost at the concert looking for his hotel. So he stopped to have a few beers with us.
Call him like Nomad.
My
Who
name's
called
Andrew.
the Nomad?
I'm definitely
Nomad.
Birdie in the Pigeon Lookout Squad.
You're Nomad.
No. Shh.
No. I mean,
I'll tell them who I really am. No,
We
man.
can't
I don't
tell
know
who
who
you
you are.
are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, dude, because it's might post live. So we'll call you the Nomad. We found this Nomad walking around. He said he's been walking for an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
The hotel is 4 minutes away driving.
Fuck!
So like a 20-minute walk. His phone is dead.
His friends are missing him. They're probably
Yep.
mourning.
Really
him right
weird,
now.
really
Bro,
sketchy.
Yeah.
Sitting in a
I'm sorry. I'll walk away if you want me to walk away.
It's his first. It's
Said really
Agave's
weird.
first concert.
He never
Usually
leaves.
he's like a Backstreet Boys, Vanilla Ice kind of guy.
all right.
You know what I mean?
So he's all sketched out.
Let me talk
What
a
are we
little bit.
doing in the parking lot with beer, man?
I mean, wait, look what he's wearing.
Hold on, no man. Can you describe what Agave's wearing for our audience?
Well, it looks like some sort of American T-shirt.
Yeah.
Is it a T-shirt or what? Do they have a name for this type of T-shirt?
You know what? I can't.
It's a white
Sleeveless?
beater.
It's
a wife
It's like a tank top,
A
white
goddamn
beater.
jersey. He's wearing an American flag jersey.
Basically, yeah. That's
He
exactly.
ain't from around here. That's all I got.
No,
We will
I
have
am
a
not.
picture of
I
that.
am not. You're right. I am not from around
He is
here.
not from around here.
Dude, my hotel's over there.
It's not, dude.
Because I watch these planes take off all day.
All right, no, Matt. I'm just gonna tell you. We drove there. We've been to concerts here for like 5
there?
years. It's over the opposite
it!
way. That's why you got lost in the first place. Because you keep walking, following airplanes or helicopters.
No. I was following the asshole directions by the people that gave me the directions that live around here.
You realize if the
Went that way.
airplane was leaving the airport, it would be going the opposite direction, towards the hotel.
Yeah, most of the airplanes today have been flying this way.
God damn it.
So you're just basing it off.
Airplane flight is probably
I don't know, man.
not a good idea.
Yeah, because in the morning the airplanes are probably leaving the airport, and now they're coming in. So
Don't
they're
think I
coming
would.
in the opposite direction.
I'm gonna sleep in the parking lot and get run over.
Probably the guy last year.
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah,
about that.
We'll
yeah.
have a
You
podcast
can find a
tomorrow.
park bench. You can find a park bench. You'll find something.
Yeah, but if need be.
So, thinking about walking there, man?
place?
No.
No?
The VIP
You can try
place
to
is on
sneak
the
through.
other side. I think that's why you're confused, dude.
Is there like 2 parking lots?
Yeah, they're the VIP ones.
Ah!
The VIP one's on the complete
God
other side.
damn it.
Which, if you were there, you would go left.
Yeah, it would go like that way, right?
Yeah, but you're looking at it from the opposite parking lot, so you need to go right.
I just need to like go to sleep.
You need to go towards it. You need to go around the venue that way, and like
God
up
damn
towards.
it. So it's like a half hour.
Yeah, probably, because it's a pretty
I'm
far.
just gonna tell the venue to let me the fuck back in.
If you go all the way down, there's like a restaurant here. Hook a left, and go
Oh,
straight.
what's the restaurant called?
I don't fucking know, dude. We're not from here.
Come on! G? Is it a G?
I think it was Gilligan's.
Gilligan's, yeah, something like that. It's right there.
Yep.
Yeah, you
All
got
right,
it.
I'm going that way. Thank you.
All right, hey, do you
See
need
you,
road
dude.
beer there, Nomad?
Getting a beer.
Could get thirsty out there on the trail.
Oh yeah,
no,
thank you,
good.
dude, for participating.
All right, thanks,
we really
Nomad. Thanks
enjoyed
for
it.
joining our
Hope you
podcast.
have a
You
great
guys are welcome.
weekend.
All right, take it easy, man.
See us tomorrow. Say hi.
And the Pigeon Lookout Squad.
Pigeon Lookout Squad.
No,
That's your band?
That's my band, yeah.
All right.
Just
I just
Googled
party.
it.
We'll hit that up. We'll send a message your way.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be here.
It's Ghost. We're back at the hotel after the M3 festival. We're just at a pretty shady bar. Saw some people arguing about their business, as a direct quote. Get back to the hotel. Agave jumps right in bed with Bisquick because they're out of roll-out beds, which I had totally expected. Agave, though, is in his full garb from the day, and I mean jeans and that Pride t-shirt he's wearing, or Pride beater, tank top, whatever you call it. I have a great picture I'll post. He's arguing that he can't sleep without his jeans. He has to go full nude.
Hey, I'm used to sleeping completely naked, or I wear all my clothes. So that's usually what I'm used to. And for the past, actually, I'd say about, I don't know how many years, 20 years, I've been sleeping basically just in the nude. Feels good. It's the only way to explain it.
So
It's easier. I just fall asleep like that.
you were like in first grade,
I'd be 7 years old. 7 years old.
sleeping nude.
7 years old would be not first grade. Actually, be before the first grade. It'd be almost kindergarten.
How long were you in first grade?
Be close. Be close.
I thought it was like
Close to first grade. No, you're right.
not expert on education,
7. You're funny. I like that.
so
But anyway, I just look at it as that's what I always slept in the nude. So, but I am with we have different circumstances tonight, so I will not be partaking in that. I will basically.
I will say that Bisquick outperformed my expectations. I had told the guys coming in
By eating more? Or what?
no that he would fall asleep at 11 p.m. It is actually midnight, so he has gone over by an hour. He actually went out to the bar, drank water. I likened him to
Drink my water.
some type of water buffalo that just drinks all day, grazes all the day. In the sun, he wears himself out. When he gets back at night, he falls right asleep.
Dude, look, don't fucking touch me. Don't fucking touch me. Don't. Slave. Go to sleep.
Captain America.
Don't do it. Don't start with me.
Sorry,
Go back to
Captain
sleep.
America.
Go to sleep. And just go. Just
You
sleep.
know what happens when people don't get their green cards? They wear American shirts.
Guess what?
Why'd you loud enough to say that on the podcast,
I
bro?
already fucking have my fucking citizenship, you fucking faggot.
Oh, you do? Is that what you're wearing?
Go to sleep. Go to sleep, Ralph. Go to fuck. Don't you? Are you fucking joking? Don't start.
Do what? I'm laying down. My back
Fuck
hurts.
you in the ass.
Don't
You wanna
even
get
start.
fucked?
So, Agave, can you go back through what all did you drink today?
Tequila. A lot of tequila. Actually, yeah.
You mean the one bottle you had with you?
Yeah.
That's the only tequila you had?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd characterize that as a lot. What other beers did you drink?
Alright.
Well, we still have like half it left though. What time did you start today?
I didn't get that tequila till like 2-3 o'clock though.
Where did you get it at?
Here in Maryland, that liquor store.
Oh, really?
It was I started drinking at 11. Mike seriously gets zoned with the deal all night.
That's Bisquick. He has sleep apnea. He went for a sleep test this week, but I don't know. I wanted him to wear the mask like Cabal from Mortal Kombat, where he'd be.
You fucking die.
And then, but he could
Some
die on
fucking
us.
sleeping with fucking Sub-Zero over here.
I'm worried that he could actually die anytime we sleep like in the same hotel room. So normally I bring earplugs. I actually forgot them. Horrible mistake on my part.
Oh my god, I forgot. I remember that now. Now I'm starting to remember that he was a loud snorer.
There'll be a part in the night where he goes. He kind of like breathes it back out.
Oh, is that good enough?
Yeah, we'll see. That should be alright.
All right, guys, day 2 of the M3 Festival. Today we're drinking box wine by Wine Cube.
Wine cube.
Boxed
One bo-
wine.
One
By
box
Ghost.
equals 6 glasses of wine.
It's 13.5% alcohol by volume. We each have a liter to drink
Sour
before we
grapes.
actually go into the concert.
It is recyclable. Only where facilities exist.
I'm almost done with mine. How about you guys?
I'd say about.
Yeah, yours is like a heavier. Do you want to pull mine?
You fucking chugged it, you fucking idiot. You're probably done. You're probably just drinking nothing. You have to be done. Holy shit, you drank all that.
Well, boys,
That's bad.
Ghost has
no,
won.
you're making-
He
you're-
finished his liter of wine, and he doesn't even care.
See what
because-
happens when you get these two guys riled up? Because I'm not even in this.
And I think I'm
just
ready
here-
for another beer.
Oh, no.
Because
Well, see, this is what I didn't want. I didn't want this to get out of hand, and it's already starting to get out of hand.
I can't believe this. This is like the kind of shit that happens.
This is the kind of stuff that went on
See,
when
what
we
you
were
also have
in
to talk
school.
about is Ghost was like going around holding our different bottles of wine, try to gauge where we were at so he could win and talk himself up, which is fine. I'm not here about winning. I'm not about here winning now. I'm here about winning later.
Okay, well, I will tell you this. Bisquick was afraid to drink his wine. He actually hid it in the cooler for a good half hour.
I had to cool it down a little bit. It was warm. And if you ever drank warm, hot wine in the sun, like it's beating down.
All right, that was it. Thank you for listening to the Socially Numb podcast. I'm your host, Richie Leahey. Follow me on Twitter, and come back next week for some more concert stories. Thanks.